What up, this your girl Chanel West Coast. I'm chilling here with exclusivezone.net. You can check out my mixtape Now You Know, just dropped it. Make sure you go get that. Peace. West Coast.
Alright, so I'm with my homie here.
What's up? Sorry, my hands are kind of sweaty.
Chanel West Coast, you just dropped a dope new project, Now You Know. So what's the reaction been like with that project? What's the people been saying?
Really, like, it's kind of an overwhelmingly good reaction from everybody. Like, everybody who hears it is like blown away and like really surprised because I don't think people expected it. So yeah, it's been like a really good reaction. Like, people love the mixtape. I wasn't going for like one type of sound or one direction, not like the group. I was just like, you know, trying to do what I feel. Like, when a beat comes on, I'm just like, I like that beat, I like that beat. Like, I don't want it to be all trap beats or all dubstep or all pop type beats. Like, I kind of wanted to mix it up and do a little bit of everything. So it's pretty diverse. Like, there's songs where I'm singing and it's more pop, and then there's songs where, you know, it's like straight up rapping, like more like East Coast sound, and then there's songs that are more like West Coast sounding. Like, it's really, really diverse.
Awesome. So what made you want to pursue this? I mean, what were some of your influences?
Really, I mean, I've been doing like music and performing art stuff my whole life, like singing and dancing since I was a little girl, and I wrote poetry since I was little, and it was listening to Tupac that really inspired me. Tupac really inspired me to rap. Actually, reading his book, The Rose That Grew From Concrete, kind of like made me like, okay, like I write poetry too. Tupac was a poet, but he like turned his poetry into music, and that kind of like made a light bulb, you know, turn on, and I was like, okay, like let me try rapping. And like listening to Pac really inspired me the most. I've actually had people tell me, like, when I rap, they're like, you could tell, yeah, hi, what up? I'm in the middle of an interview, but after, sorry. I remember I just kept telling him, I was like, yo, we gotta do a song together, you know, like I love French as shit. I actually think that he's a little bit underrated sometimes. I think he's dope as fuck, super talented. Working in the studio with him, like he writes a verse in like 5 minutes, and he like, when he raps, it's like so effortless that it's like, damn, okay, like it's like he's just so dope not even trying, you know what I'm saying? Right. So I think that his album was dope as fuck, and especially hearing it. After I heard his album too, I was hitting him up even more, like, yo, we gotta do this, like let's make it happen. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And finally, like 3 days before we were scheduled, like 3 or 4 days before we were scheduled to drop the tape, finally, like, he got in and laid his verse. And yeah, that was a pretty easy connection. And he was a fan of me from like being on Rob shows and stuff, so that's why he was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, he was a little homegirl.
Yeah.
Honey, I met through producers who I worked with before, Midi Mafia. And they were like, oh, we're working with Honey, like I think you guys would be dope. And I was like, yeah, connect us, let's do it. And then we had a studio session. We actually made 2 songs. Only one of them ended up on the tape, but we're gonna put the other one out soon.
Nice.
And Ty, like I knew Ty from like working at Record Plant all the time and seeing him there. Like, we're both kind of studio rats, so like I would just run into him all the time. And Evan Ross has been my homie since I was like 15 years old. It was kind of like a no-brainer because the song that Evan and Snoop are on is actually a Diana Ross sample in the song. So when he heard it, he was like, I gotta get on this, my mom's gonna love this. And Snoop was a no-brainer too, because it's like, I'm Chanel West Coast, I cannot put out my first mixtape without having the Dog Father on my mixtape. So like, that was like, you have to have Snoop on a West Coast artist mixtape. I would love to obviously work with, I haven't had a chance yet to work with Wayne and Drake and Nicki, obviously everybody from Young Money, Cash Money. I'd love to work with all of them, and definitely Jay-Z. I'm a big Jay-Z fan. I feel like it's funny because people were listening to my song Mazel Tov and they're like, oh, like I could tell you're influenced by Jay-Z, like the way I was rapping on it. So I would definitely love to collaborate with Jay-Z and all the Young Money and Cash Money artists. Yeah, there's actually, our new season just premiered last Thursday, and that's on air right now every Thursday night at 10 p.m. And we're going to be doing another season that we start filming in September. And we actually just like out of nowhere, we didn't think Fantasy Factory was going to come back, but they kind of like brought it back from the dead in a sense, because we haven't filmed that show in like over a year and a half, almost, I think like 2 years now. So we're gonna do another season of Fantasy Factory also. I'm not sure how much I'll be on that, because like my music career is taking off, and that show takes a lot of time to film. So I might only be on a few episodes of it, but definitely you will see me on that.
But that's gonna be a lot bigger now. You guys are just like mega stars. Like, how that's gonna be different?
Yeah, even Rob was like, I don't even know how to write us all in, because it's like I don't work. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. I never like really worked at the Fantasy Factory. It wasn't like a real receptionist job. It was kind of like more for, you know, the TV show. And obviously I don't have an office there anymore, because Rob had to give the office to real people that work there. So like Rob was even saying, he's like, man, he's like, you know, Drama's got his clothing line popping, Big Black's got his clothing line popping, like everybody, he's like, it's like bringing the Rolling Stones back together. Like,
that's a big deal.
So yeah, so like it's hard kind of to get us all together and make it happen, but we're gonna make it work and probably make the funniest, best season of the show yet. So.
Okay.
It's so hard to say because there's so many clips. It's like hard to remember. I can say that I told Snoop this one clip too. It's one of my favorite clips. It's like this little baby that like the dad's trying to tell the baby to put the bowl in the sink, but the baby is like just lazy and does not want to do it. And so the baby's like acting like the bowl is heavy, and the baby's like and like dropping, and it's like an empty bowl. Like the baby's like acting like it's heavy, so like the baby's kind of smart for trying to trick you, but like also like it's a baby, so it doesn't realize we know that the bowl's not that heavy. Like it's the cutest clip ever. Like I crack up every time I see it. And there's one other clip where a Santa falls off the roof. It's probably, you know, obviously not the real Santa. It's a dad trying to be Santa, and he just rolls off the roof and like plops on the floor. Like that's another one of my